good, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. Nadesco, Wayno, and Academics here.
Green tea's hidden. No cap. No cap. How y'all doing today?
Good. I see you repping the slums of Brooklyn today.
I ain't gonna lie, this was the only thing clean. I kid you not. I ain't gonna lie, I'm at laundry day, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
You actually have a laundry day?
No, he doesn't have a fucking laundry
to
day.
be honest with you, it's like almost like 2 months of laundry like piled up. I really gotta eat
That's kind of disturbing. 2 months of laundry.
Why so long? It's not like you're doing the laundry yourself.
Hey, listen, I think the audience realized I stopped buying clothes for this show a long time ago.
When did you start buying clothes for the show, Ak? What are you
What?
talking about?
Wait,
there was that month that you had
They forgot. Yo, I was attempting with the drip. Then I'm like, wait. I'm gonna spend all this money and I'm not gonna get all props like I'm Uzi? Fuck it.
Ak, if we run back all of the tapes, you were never attempting the drip.
You never attempted
just to set the record
you made like,
straight.
since I've been here, you made it like two strong attempts.
You
Strong?
can't get
Strong attempts. He had the off-white jacket on.
Nadeska got like the memory of a crackhead. Like she don't.
Fuck.
Nadeska, you don't remember when I was
Real
coming
friends
ripped
are honest with you and they try to keep you humble. I'm not here to guess you
First
up.
2 months of the show.
All right, you guys.
A long time ago. But I'm just happy you retired the Kenzo sweater. I'm happy you retired the Kenzo sweater.
that
It's a
was-
few.
Not bringing that shit back.
Nah, you retired the Trippie red tee. Please, no, don't bring the Trippie red shirt back. Don't do
I got
that.
a new one. I got a new one.
All right, if you
You
got
just send me some new merch. Salute to him.
Thank you. Don't bring the black and red one back, and don't bring the Kenzo back. Act, don't bring the
Teddy
Kenzo
bear
back.
t-shirts.
No, I got new Kenzos.
You got new Kenzo. Okay, new Kenzo. Not the one with the lion on it or whatever that is that you got.
That shit's fire.
No.
Wait till it come back from dry cleaner. That goes to the cleaner. Anything I pay over $200 for goes to the cleaner. I
Stop
can't
it,
put it with
academics.
the regular, colors. Okay.
He said the regular
Serious.
colors. All right, man, let's get into the show. You keep attempting the drip. We're here to support you, Academics. So on Tuesday,
That makes me laugh.
Not a shot of you was just hilarious.
yesterday I'm minding my own business and I have Twitter on in the background and I just see some wild tweets from Offset's account. Now we have more details. So 6ix9ine's girlfriend, Sarah Watley, so she posted a screen recording video of an alleged DM sent to her by Offset, which reads, "Miss you for real." In the caption, she's going at Cardi saying, your wife has an open criminal case. Your wife has a open criminal case. Why are you writing me that you don't respect her? There's a lot of shit I haven't exposed yet, but there's a time for that. I'm the queen of talking shit. I'm backing it up. After that, there was like a stream of random obscenities coming from Offset's Twitter account, and eventually Cardi did respond on Instagram. She acknowledged that Offset has done some, quote, dumb shit in the past, but not this time. She confirmed that it was hacked. And Offset later posted a video showing that people have been messing with his account since October.
Listen, it's a conspiracy against the great black man Offset. We have to protect.
The
Nah, for real, we
great
gotta
black male, I love
protect.
that.
It's ironic,
Endangered
man.
species.
Offset says some real shit on Twitter, and then he's getting hacked, man. First of all, this is some bullshit to even be like going into, but
What's the point of her trolling them right now? I don't understand.
who knows? But she gets too much fame for being 6ix9ine's girlfriend. I know if to be somebody else. She's not I don't look at her as 6ix9ine girlfriend.
Hey, I just want to know, who really started this, whole exposing thing? Because, I feel like,
Exposed culture.
It was a time when, side chicks were, quiet, mistresses or possible mistresses used to just shut the fuck up. I'm just wondering, what's up with everybody? Someone message you, even if it was that or anything else, the first thing you're doing is, this big-ass, yo, Cardi, get your man. This shit is kind of wild. Second of all, Offset is good. Offset is so good, bro. Offset is good, man. Listen, Offset has learned from a long time ago when, he was a little sloppy out there, You might have caught him really slipping. You might have found the tape, okay? This one, I don't know if this might really, be a perfect storm of, coincidences where he's just really innocent.
What? I don't like the way you're breathing right now.
What happened, man? Where you going with this?
This guy's good.
Where you going with this?
Trust me, as a guy who's been getting caught up, chased with knives because I've been caught up, extorted because I got caught up.
Damn, are you comparing
Trust me.
yourself to Offset right
No,
now?
I'm just saying, if you see Offset in the back of this video, he ain't say a fucking word. He has baby culture in his arm, and he's like, yeah, you tell him, babe. With the most, again, I'm not saying nothing happened. I'm just saying that this is a great thing for Offset. By the way, black men don't even cheat. So, first of all, I already was skeptical about this all.
Where are those shirts? I haven't seen those in a long time.
I'm being honest, though. You knew this was bullshit. So black, if it was Russ, definitely a cheater.
Oh my
You feel
God.
me?
What does it happen?
You know what's so funny about this though? People ain't just start getting exposed. You know what my grandmother showed me one time? My grandmother showed me a letter that this lady wrote my grandfather. This shit was the funniest shit ever, yo. Dead
She
serious.
exposed him on pen and paper?
Yo, she wrote, all right, there was no text messages back then.
Snail mail? She dropped the shit in the post office?
She sent a letter to my grandmother's, my grandmother still has the letter to this day.
Stop
Dead
it.
serious. So this is not a new thing, exposure.
Wait, did she have good penmanship? Was that good handwriting or not?
Yeah, the handwriting was pretty good. I mean, you know, you had to know how to write at that time. Like, yeah.
Wow.
But she wrote a whole letter. But I'm just saying, it's like, the thing about exposure is social media is what did it, man. Social media.
And another thing, man, like, listen, man, PSA to you scallywags, man. Real talk. Cardi not leaving Offset. Stop it, okay? If you want your little 5 minutes of fame, which is probably gonna turn to clown, and enjoy it. And honestly, Jade, like, she's a really nice girl. I've talked to her, you know, she's one, like, she got 3 6ix9ine tattoos. I just gotta say that, like, like, she got 3 6ix9ine tattoos in 10 months. That's dedication, okay? Now, my thing is that
curation, if that's a word.
Hey, secure the bag, whatever it is. Listen, you put some time in, talk to the nigga on the phone, get some tattoos, whatever, you deserve it. And this is what I gotta say. You're happy with your guy. She's happy with her guy. Why the fuck is you online, like, trying to fuck up their relationship? And this is how I think about it. Whenever 6ix9ine gets out, whether it's this month or whatever time he gets out, if he's still with you, you're going to be on the opposite end of the stick as how Cardi B was placed in a position where a lot of people are looking at her like, yo, you're falling for these lies. And even if she was, like, really, and he's telling the truth, you look crazy as a woman. I just don't understand how another woman who's also with a guy who was in that, when she gets out and 6ix9ine starts allegedly getting all DMs from all them chicks and starlets, you're gonna be in the same position and you're gonna look like the clown. So again, I just feel like, you know, if you're in that same position, you should chill out.
What are we talking about again?
I don't know, man. Shout out to Offset and Cardi. Don't let this clownery get to you. This is some bullshit.
Hey. You know what this means, right? You gotta do the remix of They Do It For Clout. You do anything for
I don't
clout?
think they need to waste any more energy on this.
You ain't even like that song.
Yeah.
That song is fire.
Well, he got nominated for a Grammy. I mean, shit, what do I know?
Well, speaking of 6ix9ine, according to XXL, lawyers for Anthony Harv Ellison, who was convicted of kidnapping him, filed a motion to have his conviction thrown out and also to get a new trial. And in those court documents, his lawyers alleged that the big beef between Trippie and 6ix9ine was fully staged. They said, quote, during trial, the government elicited testimony that Mr. Ellison was first hired as security after coming to the defense of Mr. Hernandez during a staged publicity beef, between Hernandez and a rapper named Trippie Redd. They said the evidence was more than sufficient to establish that the beef between them was just a stunt. They made songs about one another. Moreover, Redd's own manager sent Redd's location to Hernandez, ostensibly, what a great word, so that there could be some type of staged confrontation.
What does ostensibly?
Whew, I don't even know. I'm about to Google it.
Yeah, that's a really, really good word.
Ostensibly.
Academic
journalist?
I don't know every single word, but I learned. Apparently or purportedly. So can we just say
purportedly means?
Allegedly? Okay, just.
Academics, you could tap in on this, because
Yo, I kind of feel bad for these men. You know, I feel like, you know, I don't feel bad for them that they kidnapped them. You know, they did do a crime. But I do believe, like, during this whole ride and roller coaster of, you know, someone who you feel, quote unquote, is a meal ticket, gaining fame and them using your organization, you try to use them as well. And, you know, it gets a little tricky in that. All I'm just saying is that I do feel bad for the position they're in, okay, despite the crimes they did. But their defense just ain't gonna work. Bro, the feds had every fucking, like, I've never seen clearer video in my life. Like, the feds got the fucking whole car wired up. You're not gonna get off by saying it was a prank. Okay, the feds were on you at that point. Yeah. If it was something else that was a little bit more hazy, like, yeah, his reputation is trash. Like, he has trolled everything since he's came in the game, whether it's going to Chicago to San Third. Yes, you have a point there. But the feds was watching him so much that they know that this wasn't a prank. So, you know, I thought they would have ditched this whole thing. And, you know, if they do go to appeal and they win, good for those guys. However, I just don't think using the same defense strategy that you lost the trial with is going to win at the appeal. Right? I thought that the whole, like, just in court in general, right? If your whole thing is that, hey, yo, you can't find my prints on whatever, so you shouldn't, like, get me guilty, right? And they say, fuck, you're guilty anyway. I can't go to appeal the whole case and use the same, like, defense. Come up with something new.
Well, a lot of the Trippie shit played out, like, of course, like, on social media. Did Do you think that shit was fake? Was it like?
Honestly, nah.
Yeah.
Like, because you know why? You get to find out how serious certain shit was. Nobody's faking a beef and shots are getting fired. And especially, like, we didn't find out that, like, when Trippie came here and he performed blah, blah, and his tour bus got shot. We didn't find out that until the trial. If this is fake, number one, let's relax with the shots being fired. But, like, that's something you want to throw into the media.
That's the thing that makes it most serious, the shots being fired, right?
Yeah, no, of course. But
yeah, the whole thing with even with the kid, like like the defense, this defense would probably work if they didn't have a video of him saying, "Yo, I was tired of being extorted," and you like, "Yo, come on, like come with me." Like if they didn't have all of that, then yeah, it's. I mean, I can't be mad at making an attempt to try to get yourself out any way you can, but yeah, it's.
And by the way, the reason
cool.
why people think that like the whole thing with Trippie was like it was helping both of their careers. Like it's crazy how, you know, like truth be told, if Biggie and Pac were beefing now in social media age, where like they fucking hate each other but they're on live, like, yo, you fat motherfucker, like just saying this shit on live, and like you realize your career is going up, your career is going up, you're dropping a song, we're only talking about y'all two. After a while, the rest of the audience might be like, I think y'all might just be on, because it's kind of like y'all need each other to remain in that spotlight where you're grabbing all the attention.
The only odd thing about it is that they still signed to the same label.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the Trippie and 6ix9ine are signed to the same label. But you know, I mean, listen, man.
You know
I'm out the 6ix9ine game. What happened?
You know what trips me out even more?
What?
Which, all pun intended, yo, Trippie Red supposedly owned like 10% of 6ix9ine's contract. Me, I'd be like, okay, just like I'm getting money off you and me, like I'm good.
Yeah.
You keep going on.
Wow.
Shit, I hope he still does, cause he about to cash out, right?
Let's see what happens. He comes home. All right. So recently, Shiggy, of course, you guys know him from going super viral over the Drake challenge. So he was backstage at a Fabolous concert, and he was demanding money for promoting Fab's music on Instagram. And then there's a friendly confrontation between him and Fab and Casanova. Take a look.
You gotta separate the corporate sometimes. That's my job, bro. That's not your job. Yes, it is, nigga. That's how you. It's
better job to support friends.
You have fun.
I asked Shiggy to do a post for me.
What happened?
He said he needs some money. I posted this guy in
Khaled posted, 2 Chainz posted.
Who? Why? You was doing that. You was doing that without none of that.
That was for free.
Yeah.
Definitely was for free. That definitely was for free.
All right, so obviously everything is good, but do you guys think that, I don't know, if he wanted money for real, that he had a right to demand it? For helping to keep going?
I have a very
What a
interesting
challenge.
take on this.
I want to know.
Do you want to go first or you?
No, I want to know what you got to say first.
This is the exact reason why you can't be friends with rappers. I'm telling
Okay.
you can't be friends with them niggas. Because I'm like, let me just break this down to you. Fabolous, his new project, and let's give it a shout out. It's
Summertime.
Shootout 3.
Yep.
It's expected to sell 30,000. It's dropped on Def Jam. Fabolous, I would imagine, being a veteran artist, even though like he's not like the hottest guy at the moment, you know, being a veteran artist.
He's
he
aged
probably-
well. He's aged well in this game.
Yeah, he's not only is the project doing well, he's doing well. I can imagine he has a nice recording and even marketing budget for this joint. Here's the thing. His friend, quote unquote, Shiggy, be like, yo, can I get a little bit of money? Like, you gotta realize, niggas done turned Shiggy from an internet comedian to a fucking internet dancer. Like, that's all they, like.
He turned himself into an internet dancer.
No,
Yes,
he
he did.
followed the wave that was getting him popular,
Yeah.
but then it stopped at a point where people didn't want to hear him. Like, we all thought all these internet comedians were gonna turn to DC Young Fly, where they're gonna use their platform. He was telling mad jokes.
Yeah, he was.
And use it to become a personality. After the Drake thing happened with the In Your Feelings, the Kiki Do You Love Me dance, it's like, nigga, just shut up and dance. And I do believe because he's gotten so close with rappers, they're all looking at him like, yo, bro, why can't you do the same for my song if I fuck with you? Like, yeah, I posted you back then. But they're not realizing that, yo, in an odd way for an influencer, that is how he gets paid. To be honest, here's the bad thing about being their friend. Again, it's a friendly conversation, so it's not like they're really like,
yeah.
they're all looking at him like, yo, damn, yo, what you talking about money? Like, Def Jam is gonna go to some other person that's not cool with Fab and say, how much you wanna do a challenge for Fab? $10,000? I'm telling you. So because you know him, they're looking at you like, yo, you're around us. You're cool. Like, do it for free. But if you didn't know him, his label, who has the budget to spend, they don't use relationships. You use relationships. They're gonna say, oh, if they didn't know, like, Shiggy, we'll give you $10,000, just make this one video.
Okay. Wait, what do you think? You're friends with a lot of rappers.
I am friends with a lot of
Where do you
rappers.
draw the line at favors?
Would I draw the line at favors when the favor doesn't favor me? That's where I draw the line.
I mean,
at
it
the
usually doesn't, right? That's the thing with the favor.
most times, like, I mean, the thing is that, like, as long as it comes in a respectful way, you know what I mean? If a favor comes by me in a respectful way, then yeah, most of the favors I get access for people to connect them to him.
Find me academics. But if you were managing, not that you would be managing Shiggy, or an internet comedian, in this situation, would you advise him to do it out of keeping the relationship alive?
I don't know what Shiggy's relationship is with Fab. I know for me, I would do whatever for Fab. Cause Fab has helped me he's helped me get money, he's given me advice. So I would definitely like do it for whatever, I would do it just to do it. But I'm not mad at Shiggy, you know what I mean? But if I was managing Shiggy,
you'd be like,
I'd be like, do it, but I'd be like, yo, it's any way we could, it's definitely a conversation to say, yo, it's any way we could get something. If not, we'll still do it.
Okay.
But you definitely want to know, you know?
Well, on the manager side, I feel like this is what should happen, and this is exactly why you need a manager, because Shiggy.
He has a manager.
Well, it should be set up where Shiggy says, "Yo, Fab, of course I got you."
Hit my.
No.
And then that
don't
person
even do
takes
that.
care of it.
His manager's supposed to hit Fab's people, be like, "Yo, you know Fab wants to do this video. You know it could help. What's up with the budget? Yo, we're gonna do our part. We fuck with Fab. How could you compensate us?" Now, it should be like, "Oh, okay, we could give you this or whatever," and that's a negotiation, hopefully, right? And it might even be a discount, who cares? Yeah. But at least it shows the value of your time, your talents, and your audience that you're trying to like push towards this song or this album. So like, it has to be a little bit, like I see mad influencers, they're getting the, yo, you should just be happy to be cool with us. Yo, you backstage with us, you drinking this, whatever liquor, like you with these bad chicks around here, be happy to be here. This is the value of you doing whatever we want.
Yeah,
it
that's
just
what
doesn't work like that.
Thanks to you, right?
Yeah, because you know, for a musician, they go on tour. That's how they get money. They put out music. For an influencer, like that's how you kind of get paid. Like, yo, you want me to do something? I'll do it. But you know, it's not. We're not friends.
Yeah, but you definitely. I mean, that's why I say I don't know their relationship. Now, if they, I've seen Shiggy around like damn near every rapper. I know that they probably cool in passing. If they not really cool like that, then I understand. But like, if I was him, I would. Like, it's Fab. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that favor is gonna come back around one way or another. You know, and even that's what I'm saying. Everything is not always monetary. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do that type of favor for Fab, you don't know if the nigga might go on tour and bring you to do the dance on stage every fucking show. Like that shit he did with Drake.
Now, hold up.
But he probably gets a lot of these requests too.
Hold up now. This is where I have to stand up, and it's not for Shiggy, it's for other internet creators like that.
All right.
He already did the biggest shit on stage in the world. Like, at this point, Shiggy should not be doing it for the look.
Nah,
don't bring me on like I don't want to go on tour with you.
No. When I said that,
I'm dancing.
I said that, I'm saying that there could be a dollar amount attached to that. That's a performance. Like you now, yeah, you're right. You don't get no bigger than doing the shit for Drake. But he did the shit. Drake didn't. If Drake paid him, he probably paid him after. That shit, Shiggy just did that shit because he liked the song and he was having fun. What I'm saying is that if you did something for Fab, that favor's gonna work for you, whatever. I'm pretty sure everybody has an artist. Shiggy was just fucking rapping. Like, I just heard him rapping.
Perfect. I think you get into what I'm saying.
Exactly. He just was rapping. He could have did this shit for Fab and then been like, yo, Fab, it might not be him doing a song with him because I'm pretty sure Fab is not gonna do a song with you, but it could have been some shit like, yo, I need you in my video, do a full-on skit with me, this is that and the third. He could have used that favor for whatever. So I don't think anybody's really wrong here. But if I was Shiggy, I would have just did this shit because if you have a rapport, that's gonna come back to you. That's how you last in this game.
Yeah, but you know what? I think, you know, even watching Shiggy, I do watch him a good amount. Like, I think he thinks certain things aren't too, like, it doesn't reciprocate, right? Like he'll do something and it probably feels like they look at it like you're still getting a look, and I think he already feels he has the look. I think sometimes you got to test the relationship though, right? So you say, yo, Ak, yo, could you do this for me? Like, yo, you did it for Drake, this, that, and third. All right, cool, I can do that. But if I ask you for a favor, again, maybe not get on a song with him, like, say he was like, yo, you know I'm trying to put out this little compilation tape, like, could you hop on it? You'll realize if it's one-sided. Me, I'm cool with favors as long as we're both exchanging. It's not just your
That's
music.
where I started the
Yeah.
conversation at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you know, with Shiggy, another thing is because he's a comedian, I don't know, I'm not trying to diss him by no means, but I don't know if people take him serious business-wise, right? So that's the tough part about being an up-and-coming comedian is that everybody thinks that you're a joke because you tell jokes. So I don't know if they just think like, oh, that's Shiggy, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know.
But then that's when you got to demand payment for it, or else that will continue forever. But like you guys said, it depends on the relationships, a case-by-case basis. But I'm sure they figured this out and things are still all good.
Absolutely.
Shout out to those guys. And now, some music for Brick Hit or Wait on It. So all this talk about the king of R&B, finally, like, The Weeknd has resurfaced. Party Next Door has resurfaced, surprisingly. We missed these during our Thanksgiving break. So let's start with The Weeknd. Dropped a new song called Heartless, produced by Metro Boomin. He just dropped a video for this as well. Brick Hit or Wait on It?
Academics. I want to know academics.
I'm learning to not forget, but just like, every time Weeknd goes away, comes back, I expect him to be back on some trilogy shit. And I'm getting to realize and just accept that this pop star Weeknd is here to stay. And he'll give us glimpses of that underground, dark sound, but he is a superstar. And I'm going to say, it's not my favorite record of his, but it is a hit.
Okay.
It's going to work. People haven't heard him for a while. He hasn't been saturating the market, and I do think he's going to take over next year, honestly. So I'm going to say hit.
Yeah, I will say hit as well. You know, him and Metro Boomin, I think it's a different sound, you know what I mean, than we're used to for Metro Boomin. That's what kind of makes it pretty interesting to see Metro involved. But like Ax said, it's like, you know, Weeknd is a super pop star, you know, and I like the way he's kind of embracing, like, his fame.
Yeah.
Like, you see how he has a new look now. He's kind of on some Michael Jackson.
You guys like the rebrand?
Yeah, I like it. It's
not as pop as Starboy, though.
Nah, I mean, but you know, I think Starboy, that's just a moment in time. You know
I
what
liked a lot of records on there.
Yeah, it's just a moment in time. So we'll see what happens with this, but this is a hit.
I miss when he was just singing about, like, white girls doing coke.
Yeah, I don't think those days are over necessarily.
All right.
He'll be back. What about Party Next Door? Loyal, featuring Drake, produced by Drake Got Juice, OG Parker, and 40. It's been a minute. I feel like we might have put Party on the clock a few months ago.
Nah, I didn't know my man OG Parker was on this joint. Shout out to him, but I say wait on it. I think a lot of the Drake Party Next Door songs is usually straight to the point. Like, you go with it from the rip.
Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of what's the joint with him and Chris Brown? No Guidance. Not the song, but I'm just talking about like how when we first heard it, everybody didn't jump out the window for it on first listen, and then it grew to be the biggest record of this year, closing out the decade. I think that, you know, I don't know if this one is going to be that big, but I think it's just something to wait on. Come on, OVO Sep Shop is working overtime.
I'm surprised he hasn't mentioned it yet.
Hey, I was on stream when this dropped, and I gave it to Party. I said this was mid, and I don't like mid, especially from an artist who has been disappearing and out the spotlight for a while. You should be in the studio cooking up only heat.
Okay.
But I kept listening. Can't lie, this shit's fire, bro. It's fire, baby. This shit's heat.
Why are you not just a pastor?
No. Listen, I'm being very objective here.
Okay.
This is heat. You gotta realize, this is kind of like on a Caribbean type vibe. You know, we've always been saying, Drake, man, get him Caribbean songs or stop taking it from Party. That's his type of vibe.
Word.
It does start off slow, so it's not like a infectious beat off rip. So like, it's not like a work, right?
Right.
But, you know, like, it works. It works, and even though I did play on words there, but like, Drake did his thing, but Party is kind of at home on this record, and I do believe if he gives more of this sound, right? He'll probably, you know, like he did an interview back where he was talking about, yo, he wants that number one. He don't want to write it for somebody else. Right. He might get it on this next project. It's coming in January. So, heat!
Wow. Okay.
Come on, man. Stop playing.
So you would take him off the clock then? We just need a couple more of these. And a project?
I think off the clock until the
yet?
album drop. You never know. He might just dip. Like, nah.
Yo, so this next one, I feel like we all have pretty musical spectrum of taste here, but I feel like these are two artists that we all really respect. So this one is Roddy Ricch featuring A Boogie. It's called Tiptoe. It's gonna be featured on Roddy's debut album. First time they've collabed. Brick hit or wait on it?
Hit. And I have heard, Roddy's album comes out on Friday. I've heard a lot of it. He's definitely dropping one of the best projects this year. Promise you. I think that, you know, I mean, just to have two young guys, one from the East Coast, one from the West Coast, and they both, one comes from the Bronx, one comes from Compton. When you hear that, you think of a certain type of sound.
Yeah.
Nothing of what you think of today. I think that they're showing, you know, what the future is of their generation with this record, and hit.
I'm gonna say fire. I am a little concerned about Roddy. Yes, I am.
Why?
Roddy's dropped like 4 singles before the project.
Right.
And I'm wondering why so many singles. We're in an age we don't see that many singles.
Right.
Right? And this is if I saw this on the track list, I couldn't wait to hear it. I'm wondering why put out 4 when you're an artist that isn't missing. And some of the records I feel like he's putting out, I don't feel like they're getting worked enough. You know, like, I feel like the last record that really got worked to its potential, you know, the one with Gunna, like, they worked for a good amount, but the last record with Roddy I felt that really got worked to his full potential is not his record, it's Mustard's record. It's
Right.
Ballin'.
Yeah. And that's still moving.
Good. But in terms of his album, he put out 4 songs, and I'm like, yo, you could have hit us with 1, you know, or 2. You know, like 4, it feels like this is 4th or the 5th. It feels a little bit excessive. I just want the project, and I do think the project's gonna be great. I'm just wondering why 4?
Well, you know what? How many joints is on there? It's a kind of lengthy project. It's not 20, right? But it's a little lengthy project. But I think like these ones, none of these are throwaways, but it's like all the other shit that he has on there is more musical than these, from the joints I heard. They're more musical sounding. It's like him singing a little bit more. You know what I mean? Him tapping into that a little bit more. So I think it's like just getting these ones out so that he could give you the rest and a full body of work. But
yeah, I was just kind of confused on the rollout a little bit, just because I'm like, it's not that his records is flopping, but he's putting out a new single every 3 weeks.
All right, so Roddy's album's coming this Friday. Looking forward to that one. Our next song, 21 Savage, On the Inside. This one is from the Godfather of Harlem soundtrack. Wayno, you gotta go first.
I will say...
Of Harlem.
I just saved you from making a bad joke and made it.
Yeah, I gotta say, wait on it. This is not an instant 21 like banger for me. Like, it's cool. I'm not too like crazy about it. I just felt like it's cool. It's not nothing like that I really expected coming from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ak, grower, shower.
Might have to call 21. That's my guy.
Why?
I think I've had 2 of these in a row, or 3. Like, usually I get the banger.
Has he had another single recently?
He dropped is it Immortal? What was the one he dropped? I forgot the name of it. He dropped the single recently.
Drop the one, yeah.
It charted really high. I just wasn't really high off of it.
Okay.
And I gave it the same, and I'm like, the next one is gonna get me. I know it. Meezy gonna text me. He gonna be like, yo, we got it. I want to hear it. This wasn't it. It's a wait on it. It's not a whack track. But this is a track that's on a soundtrack. So he may be holding the records for
the album.
What's going to come for him. And who knows when his album's coming. You know, he dropped around this time last year. I don't think he's going to drop again. You know, he's not the guy who drops every year.
Yeah.
He might give you a year and a half. So we'll see, but I'll wait on it.
All right, so our last one is from City Girls. Obviously, JT came home recently. We heard from her. But this one is called You Tried It. So this is their first official joint release since she's been back. Brick hit or wait on it?
I'll go first. And while I do love QC, everybody knows that, this is not it for me. When it comes to City Girls, I think it's hard, like with Act Up, it's such a massive record. Not that they have to do it every single time, but I just gotta feel it. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't feel this one. So, break for me.
Okay, not it.
It's actually crazy. I think this is fire.
Yeah?
Yo, I fuck with this. Yo, JT is like the life of the City Girls. Like, no disrespect to the young
I mean, she's the...
But like when you hear on her track, like, and especially, I think this feels like it was kind of recorded after, right? Like, to me, this is gonna work for the demographic, and this is why I'm saying it's a hit. It's gonna work for the demographic that they're talking to. They're giving them little quotables, they're saying the little sayings, like, I think it's gonna work for them. Now, it's not no Act Up, and it's hard to beat Act Up.
Right.
It's really hard to beat Act Up.
Right.
And also, I do think they got a little bit Travis Scotted out. And let me explain that. Over the last year and past years, since JT's been locked up, everybody has tried to throw the City Girls on a track to get the City Girls sound.
Right.
So now it's their track, and then you're trying to see and differentiate it from everything else they've been on. I just think it'll still work. Also, because it's QC, I'm throwing a little more fire on that too. So
Okay.
I think it's gonna work.
Okay.
If we could skip to struggle mail, it's been a minute. I'd love to get to one of your questions. How about this one? Why do y'all think some rap bands are able to keep touring stadiums until they're in their 70s, while most rappers, as they get older, seem to get left behind by their fans? Y'all often say hip hop is youth driven, but what happens to the older fans? I would say in Europe, a lot of artists who are like older tour later. Sometimes the music gets to some places older, but yeah, some artists still do well as they age, others not necessarily. Is it a work ethic thing?
No, I think overseas, they just appreciate hip hop a little bit more than here. I mean, like, you know, it's here, we getting it new all the time in our faces. It's a lot of people that before Prodigy passed away, I was seeing Mobb Deep shows that was looking like Mobb Deep just came out last month. You know, I think that over there they just have a little bit more respect. Like I've been in Japan, and when I was in Japan, I went into like mixtape spots that was set up like mixtape spots in the 90s where they still was selling CDs. They still wanted like your T-shirt, like not just merch, but I'm just talking like just anything that they could get from you. You know, like it was that old hip hop feel. I think because, you know, people don't go out there often is why they might appreciate it a little bit more. But yeah, here it's like, I mean, but I can't just shit on, you know, how we deal with hip hop in the States.
No,
like,
but I like the
know.
part of the question where he asked what happens to older fans. You know what I mean? If you're now listening to like a Trippie Redd or something like that, are older fans still going out and supporting the artists they grew up on?
I still go to a Locks concert, the drop of a dime. Like, you know, because when I was a kid, I couldn't go to a lot of concerts I wanted to go to as a kid. I wasn't old enough to go to. I didn't have anybody to bring me. So, like, I go to certain shit and I fucking fan out, like, for real. Like, you know, but that's because I didn't get that experience back then. So I think that's what happens. Like, you never lose your love for your favorite artist coming up, you know?
I think this is starting to be proved not true. Like, I do think rap, like, the legends are getting love. And the legends, like, we're comparing them, if we're comparing to other genres, the legends get love. The middle order niggas and the niggas who were popping for like 2 years at one song, yeah, you just go away. Like, you got to retire at that moment, right? But, like, you're also comparing them to, like, for example, people will talk about either Rolling Stones or, like, other, like, you know, groups or bands who, like, perform for, like, huge arenas still. In their heyday, they were still doing that. Like, what I mean is that some of these artists that are legends to us, like, they weren't doing arenas. So what happens is we get these 90s tours, they do really well.
Yeah.
90s tours do really well. The 2000s, why Bow Wow was so lit when they announced it last week?
Well, yeah, that tour, the Millennium Tour is going to be a big tour.
For real. If there's a Rough Riders tour, that does well. If there's a Bad Boy tour, that did well. Like, there is still nostalgia in hip hop. You know, like, we're still at the early stages where, like, we're seeing artists that we loved and we grew up on kind of age out of, like, that little sweet, yo, I'm young, popular spot, right?
Well, their fans grow too. Like, Little Bow Wow and B2K, their fans are 30 years old now. You know what I mean? They're in their 30s. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't think people even would go watch, like, that show. Like, I would imagine people go watch, like, DMX. And,
well, they couldn't afford it back then. Like, you know what I mean? It's a lot of little girls that didn't get to go to them shows because they couldn't afford it.
but that's what I'm saying. They're going to do arenas.
Yeah.
They're going to do arenas. So, like, that's what I'm saying to this question. Yeah, I get it. Maybe, like, it can be just Bow Wow that goes on tour. But, like, over time, I do believe, and I think we'll realize when, if Jay ever set up a tour like just for himself, he can still sell out mad shit. Right? If Drake sets up a tour at 60, he's still I think he's gonna do a residency in Vegas at like 60. The greats are gonna have that opportunity. We just gotta get to that point. And I understand, like, you know, if we look all the way back in hip hop history, like some of the greats, like, you know, I just don't think they were exposed to these type of audiences that hip hop has now.
Well, you know what it is too? Social media.
Yeah.
I mean, like social media is a big part. I mean, think about this, right? This whole April and Omarion thing playing out on social media is a big marketing tool for him going on tour. Like everybody was like, yo, Omarion announced the tour on Lil Fizz birthday. Like it's a lot of things that go around it. But I think like a lot of people just get, I wouldn't say, yeah, they do get caught up in the hype, but they do want to have the experience because they never got it. Like if you could go on see one show that you've never seen before, who would it be? Spraga Benz?
Vybz Kartel.
If Vybz came out,
Vybz Kartel.
I could go to prison
If
for
Vybz
that.
Kartel comes out, I'm going to Jamaica.
Of course.
Dead serious.
Who would you
Respect
be?
it.
Who would yours be?
I would see a Rough Riders tour. I've never seen DMX or Eve or any of them perform. I would love that. I saw the Bad Boy reunion. I don't know.
I seen Bad Boy reunion.
I'm trying to think. When I was younger, I saw M and seen J a million times.
Yeah.
I think I've seen all the rest of them. Rough Riders probably.
I'm trying to think of who would I like to see. I don't know. You know who I've never seen in concert? No, I've seen 50 Cent before. Of course, a G Unit, that's typical to say, but Dipset is typical to say. I've seen that 100 times.
seen that 100 times.
Yeah, I mean, that's typical to say,
Roger's
though.
so funny. He said Meek Mill and Pusha T.
Everybody got jokes.
Thanks, Roger.
No. I will say, though, as, like, you know, just time goes on, like, this is the most popular genre.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, I know who I would.
people are growing up on these acts and artists. Like, trust me, Post Malone at 65, all wrinkled with the tattoos like fucking falling off his face, is still gonna have people singing Rockstar.
Yeah.
For me, it'd be Wu-Tang Clan. I never seen Wu-Tang Clan perform before, ever.
Sure. All right.
I never seen them perform.
I'll go with you to that.
That'd be lit.
I was looking at Black Youngsta's Instagram the other day because
I thought you were gonna say, oh,
He's,
you want to go to Black Youngsta's concert.
I mean, I would. I was watching him. He was
Yo.
posting clips from Germany and Italy. He's just hilarious.
Nah.
I was kind of scrolling through, but the shit is crazy.
I seen Black Youngster for the first time. I never heard of him. And Yo Gotti did a show at SOBs and Black Youngster performed. This was like almost 4 years ago. Black Youngster shows be lit.
Crazy overseas,
Lit.
Those kids know all the words.
Well, it's really just overseas, period. Like when you were out, we had a little TJ here, and he said, yo, and by the way, he went to Canada. Shit was like ridiculous. You would think it's Drake walked out on the stage. You go to the UK, they see like someone that they bought a ticket for. It doesn't have to be the biggest artist. Oh shit, it's whoever. Like in the US, it's like, I'm gonna see you at like 3 festivals later. So,
But you know the thing is, because nobody lives, like, the artists don't live there. It's like, if you go on 5th Avenue this afternoon, you might run into a few artists. Or you go to Soho, you might run into a few artists. In Canada, I'm pretty sure, like,
it is rarity.
you don't,
It's rarity.
yeah, you don't see Drake. Even with Drake, I'm pretty sure like Drake ain't just walking around Toronto everywhere. But like everybody else, like, that's a thing to see them there. And plus, nobody can fucking get into Canada, or your favorite artist got felonies
Nobody
and
can
shit.
get into
For
Canada.
real, it's hard to get there. Like,
No, like overseas, like even I went over. I felt like I was like some rapper with a hit.
Yo,
Like,
got
they
a lot of
mobbed
love
me.
in the UK. It's crazy. Yo, shout out to all our international fans. We appreciate
real.
you guys. We wish we could do the Everyday Struggle like world tour. Whenever I'm in Europe randomly, I'll get DMs like, see you're in
And the
Amsterdam.
Mobile Boys got
Nigeria,
it.
yo,
What's up,
nah.
man? We trying to pull up.
Nigeria, yo. Nigeria.
Oh yeah, can't wait to
That
go
would be
there.
I would love to do Everyday Struggle in Nigeria.
Legos,
Nigeria.
come on, man.
Yo, we're coming. We're gonna get a sponsorship. I'm working on it.
Right,
we'll
let's do
see.
it.
All right. So last quick story of the day. So Spotify released some stats this week. Best streaming artist of the year and streaming artist of the decade. I don't know if anyone is surprised. Drake, Spotify's most streamed artist of the decade, and they're counting this globally, which is pretty crazy. So he's ranking over people like Ed Sheeran, Post Malone, pop stars like Ariana Grande, which is pretty wild. And then Post Malone, of course, most streamed artist of 2019. So I think we're gonna probably do next week some of our end of a decade lists.
All right.
Drake's gonna be on a lot of those, I'm sure.
I want to see how that list changes going into the next decade. You know, as other genres begin to get more popular. Like that's the great thing about streaming, and like, you know, what Spanish, like just the language, right? What was reggaeton was really just regionalized, turned to Latin trap. Latin trap is now like
The biggest.
it's worldwide
Yeah.
because a lot of people speak that language and the music travels quicker. So I want to see, like, maybe next decade we'll see a couple Latin trap artists on there. Shoot, you never know. Like, there's other countries that, you know, have been picking up on streaming, and, you know, their countries may or may not, like, be allowing the streaming services, but still, like, you know, like even India, like their music scene is crazy. Like on YouTube,
India,
like they literally, the
Africa
biggest
joint is crazy
YouTube
too.
channel is it's kind of like a Bollywood type, like Indian music type channel. It's crazy. So I'm looking forward to see how music is expanding. But hey, I remember when the advent of streaming service came around, people were like, man, this shit just taking money out of whatever. If you look, I looked at recently how much money Warner made. They made like 20% more this year off music. And half of it was from streams than they made last year. So, look like streaming's paying off, man.
Yeah, it
Streaming is definitely paying off.
So some of my friends here at Complex did a mini doc called The New Medellin. You should check that out. It's super dope. Just showing you how like that culture is taking over globally, like you said, how it's spreading. It's really awesome. Check it out. It's on the Complex News YouTube channel. And before we go,
Before we go.
A New Medellin.
Oh yeah,
It's
no,
really,
no,
really
no.
dope.
Yeah, no, they have a really like a music like fucking euphoria.
It's crazy. Yeah. You got a lot of information. I learned a lot for it. Shout out to Natalie Edgar and Tommy for putting that together.
Oh, Nat, what's up, Nat?
Yeah, it's my girl.
Oh yeah, salute to my man Roger. He wants me to shout out Colombia, man. Hey, yo, it's Jay-Z's birthday.
Yeah.
This guy forgot all show. I was watching it, man.
All show.
Rock
This
Nation
is your
ain't cutting
job
checks.
to.
Rock Nation not cutting the checks right for this guy. Look at him.
He was repping on
Happy
my
I was
day.
about
birthday,
to
ho.
say, you know, happy birthday to Jay-Z, but act
get it over
I thought he was about to sing for a second there. I was about to say.
I thought it was gonna be like, I have a cake right here for you, ho.
Nah, but it's Happy Hove Day.
Happy Hove Day.
Happy Hove Day.
Happy birthday
Jay-Z's
to
50th.
legend.
It's crazy.
50th?
Is this his 50th?
Oh,
50th
shit.
birthday, yeah.
You know, he's been aging gracefully. Like, he could still put out an album. He could still do everything he wants to do. Like, I think kind of spacing out his career, he's been.
First time I ever drank Cristal was at a Jay-Z birthday party.
Bro,
Does
wait,
Cristal
yo,
taste
where
good?
those stories, man?
Damn.
What?
It costs a lot, right?
I never paid
Do
for it.
people still buy
was
that? I
at-
thought we killed that.
No, this is years
No,
ago.
I'm just talking to
you
him.
never
I
been
mean,
with
why
some
he's
rich
asking.
niggas that like you know something costs a lot. You almost kind of looking over like, yo, how much y'all paying for this type of
Just
shit?
you, pocket watcher.
Yeah, only you.
Just
I
Yeah,
pocket
yeah.
watch everybody. Yo.
Of course. We pocket watch you.
All right. Pocket
Still,
watch
bro.
me with my laundry day shirt and see what's
Oh
up.
my God. Yo,
man.
guys, thank you for watching. If you have more fan questions, send them to us on Twitter. Everyday Strug with 2 G's. We'll see you here tomorrow. The Complex. Peace.
Peace.